the world has a very specific view of the Saudi individual. You know, he's rich, he doesn't need to work in a hotel or in the service industry, but we know from living in Saudi myself for 2 years, we know that that's not true. Do you have any plans as a developer to include the Saudi population, the actual community that you're building around, as part of the developments in the future?
Absolutely. So I think I said so in the introduction. I think it's important that we engage our local communities and uplift them in the process. So, you know, we've reached out to our local communities. We are creating opportunities for our local communities. You know, we have people that interact with the local leaders, and part of it is tribal, part of it is, you know, community based, and we're determining opportunities for them. So, and I'll give you a series of examples. So for example, again, we're committed as a destination to be carbon neutral day one. So for us, transporting goods in is anathema. We don't want to do that. We want to try to do as much locally as we can. There are a lot of farmers in the local areas that are, you know, disorganized because they don't have an outlet, they don't have a market within which to sell. So we're working with our local farmers, we're helping them get better organized, we're creating co-ops, we're teaching them sustainable farming techniques, and we're providing them a means by which they can then monetize their produce. So, you know, that's an example. We're working with, I mean, environment is hugely important, and I think we've enough of that has been said throughout the session today. We've hired people from the local communities as environmental stewards to help us two things: clean islands, right? We're all facing the plastics issue and stuff washing up, so we're constantly going around and collecting the plastic to then, you know, be disposed of in a more proper way. But we're also, by hiring local people, they're in the communities educating. You know, our biggest source of plastic that's locally generated is fishermen. The fishermen fill up their oil from their, put oil into their engines, then they throw the oil can into the water. And so again, we're trying to educate them in terms of the things that, you know, let's not do that because you're ultimately damaging your own livelihood. We're employing lots and lots of people locally. I think today we have over 2,000 people working either directly for us or through our contractors, because again, we have a huge workforce. We have over 10,000 construction workers on site today. We're going to be peaking at around 40,000. So a lot of that is going to come from the community. But as I said before, I think we need to recognize the value of the local communities to the tourism offer. Tourists value authenticity. They want to meet the local people. They want to meet the people that live there. They don't want to meet the rich Saudis because they're not necessarily living in our location, though they're very nice. So again, it's giving them those opportunities. And I'm going to quote, you know, Ronald Reagan talked about trickle-down economics. I'm actually seeing it firsthand. You know, the local communities all of a sudden are seeing great economic activity. Some of them are entrepreneurial. Some of them are getting, you know, buying equipment to work within the construction space. Others are providing lodging. You know, lodging is a huge problem.
And I foresee in the future as well, they might be diving schools or you know, fishing boats.